finally got a camera that's actually going to show my face here. I apologize because the camera is over here, and I'm looking at myself. So I'll do my best to look at the camera, and if I'm looking in the other way, I'm just looking at myself on the video. I figured we'd do kind of a little overreaction or reaction to Week 4 in the NFL. I'm already catching myself going back and forth. I just got a couple things wrote down to talk about here. And then we'll see how these types of videos do. I do like doing these type of videos. It gets people talking about the NFL, and I like to hear everybody's opinions if they want to comment on the video or anything. So the very first thing we'll talk about, obviously, since I'm a Dolphins fan, is the Dolphins game. They were 3-0 coming into the week. Tua was looking really good. Tyreek was on pace to set a lot of records. Jalen Waddle came back, they played the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's a divisional game, and the Buffalo Bills, I don't want to say they're the real deal because, they look like the real deal on Sunday. They got their question marks and everything, but I knew it was going to be a good game. At least I thought it was going to be a good game, at least. I knew it was going to be tough, especially going in to Buffalo and everything. They say in the NFL you're already down a touchdown if you're on the road, and it started out really good. If you didn't watch the game, I figured it was probably going to be a shootout. It didn't turn into that. The Dolphins' defense is kind of sketchy at some points. I know Jalen Ramsey's out. He'll be coming back a little while, I think probably still a month or maybe two. When is it, October? A month or two out probably a month and a half. So they're going to get better. But the Dolphins ended up losing 48-20, I believe was the final score. It started out just a shootout, 14-14, and then Buffalo kind of ran away with it. Tua wasn't making some throws. Defense couldn't really stop anybody. One person in particular, I think it's Kohu is his name. I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything, because if you're in the NFL, obviously you're good. You made it to the NFL. You went through, high school and then college. You made it, and then you got drafted. Well, I think he was drafted. But like I said, if you make it to the NFL, you are a good player. So I don't mean any disrespect when I'm getting ready to say this, but he was hot garbage. There was a lot of times Stephon Diggs beat him. Sometimes Josh Allen didn't throw it to him. Honestly, they probably could have thrown it to him every single play. I know next time when they play, Jalen Ramsey will probably be back, and that matchup will look a little different. But Kohu was just getting burnt left and right. I think on that last touchdown, Stephon Diggs beat him like 3 separate times, and he was wide open. Josh Allen could have thrown it to him either time, and he would have been open. I know he missed a big tackle. I know one play he got a defensive holding or a defensive pass interference, and he's sitting there celebrating on the sideline like this, and then realizes it's a flag. Dude, you can't do that stuff. You got to make sure you stop your guy. I know eventually, like someone like Stephon Diggs, you can put like Devontae Adams, like those types of guys in that category, they are going to get their catches. They're going to get their targets, and they're going to get some yards. But you got to do your best to try and limit it, especially the big plays and everything like that. But like I said, the Dolphins ended up losing by 28. I think next time it is going to be a little closer game. Defense should be healthy. So I look a little better matchup. I think they don't play until January next time. I think it's the last game of the season. It's probably going to be a big playoff implication game. So I'm excited for that one going forward. Josh Allen, he looked really good. I think he had 5 total touchdowns, I believe. And that's the type of Josh Allen. That's the Josh Allen that people want to see. I know he has his moments where he struggles a little bit, turns the ball over and everything. But he did look really good. And it's always exciting to see someone in the NFL do really good, especially someone like Josh Allen that people want to see do good. And overall, it's just good if you're an NFL fan. You don't have to be a fan. I know I'm the fan of the Dolphins, so I really don't want to see Josh Allen do good, especially against the Dolphins. But it's always nice seeing people do really good, especially him being so young. I know he's been in the league for quite a couple years now, but he's still young, and that's just good going forward for the future of the NFL. But I think the Dolphins are going to bounce back next week. I'll do another video with some picks. They got the Giants next week. We'll talk a little bit about the Giants later on in this video. I think it's a good bounce back game for them if they show up. But we'll see, and hopefully they do a little bit better. A-Chan, I think that's his name. I think it's not A-Chain. I know he said after that one game last week, it's A-Chan. But he's starting to look like the real deal. I know they got Mozart, and then they got, what's his name? It's not Eli Mitchell. Jeff Wilson, he will be coming back a couple weeks maybe. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Apologize, I got an itch. I'm interested to see what they're going to do When he comes back, how they're going to implement some touches and everything. Because Mozart's doing really good. He's 31, and he's still balling. But HN is the guy going forward, I believe. Mozart will still get his touches and everything. But as the season goes on, look for HN to get a little more touches, a little more playing time, some more snaps. And I think he'll be implemented in that offense really well, especially when you got Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Braxton Berrios, guys like that are just going to make the offense even more powerful. The big thing for them, in my opinion, just being as a Dolphins fan, they are going to have to step up on defense and show the world that they can play. They can play defense, and they're not just a hit-or-miss team. I know, like I said, next week is New York Giants, who's been struggling, so I think it's a good confidence boost if they do really good. Sorry, one of my cats is tearing something up in there. But I think they'll look really good. Moving on, I only got a couple things here because if I go through every single NFL game, this will be like a hour-long video, and I don't want it to be that. Next big thing here that I have that was kind of, I don't want to say shocking to me, but it's something that people have been talking about, is Joe Burrow and the Bengals. They fall to 1-3, once again only putting up 3 points. I believe they played, I think it was the Titans, I think. But I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati. I don't know. I know Joe Burrow got hurt. I think it was training camp with that calf injury. Sorry, my nose itches. I don't know if they need to rest him, or I don't want to say sit him the whole season, because it is just a calf injury. I know those things linger on, but you can see in the pocket that he's not himself in there. Jamar Chase was upset after the game, saying he's always open, and so I don't know what's going on with them. They need to figure something out. I know it's still an early season, but falling to 1-3, that hurts, because now even if you win out, you're going 13-3, and that's a big task trying to win out, especially when you got to play the Ravens again, the Browns again. I believe they got some other tough games going on too. So I want to call this game again next week for them. They play Arizona, and I know Josh Dobbs been doing his thing down in Arizona. They beat the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. To me, this is a must-win game for the Bengals. Like I said, they're 1-3. They need a big win. Sorry, I need to take an allergy pill. They need a big win to get some confidence back. I'm not sure when their bye week is. I don't got my laptop. It's in the other room. It makes a screeching sound if I get it next to this tablet while I'm trying to record. But it is a must-win game, in my opinion, for them. Big confidence boost back, and then they continue and try and build on that. And then try and get Joe Burrow to the bye week, see how he's doing, and then just kind of evaluate him from there. And hopefully they do really good and everything. But we'll have to see about that one. Next big thing I have written down here is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud, once again, balled out for the Houston Texans. Another 300-yard game, 2 touchdowns. I know it was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that's not really saying much. But he did it last week, too, another 300-yard game. It's starting to look like now. I know it's early, and it's only been a couple games. He hasn't thrown a pick yet. 6 touchdowns, I believe, 0 interceptions. It looks like he should have been the number 1 pick to the Panthers over Bryce Young. And no offense to Bryce Young or anything, but they haven't won a game. The offense in Carolina is not looking great. So I'm thinking maybe the Panthers missed out on a good quarterback. No offense, like I said, no offense to Bryce Young. Maybe he turns it around the whole season. Who knows? It's his rookie year. He may go on to be one of the best NFL quarterbacks that have ever done it. That's a big stretch. But, Louis, get out. Sorry, my cat was on the sink. But everyone kind of wrote off the Texans this year. I know beginning of the season, they were kind of saying, oh, the Texans are going to be lucky they win a game, blah, 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 with a rookie quarterback and a new head coach, a guy that's a team that is really young. They were only expecting them to get 1-2 wins. Well, they're already there. So the ceiling is the limit with these guys. I think it's going to take a couple years. They are a young team in general. But in the next coming years, I think the Texans are going to make some noise. I know that division is going to be pretty tough in the next couple years. You got the Jags and Trevor Lawrence. You got Anthony Richardson and the Colts, who's Anthony Richardson. He's a rookie. He's doing really good for a rookie. I know a lot of people are saying rookies can't come in and make an impact. Well, he is coming in and making an impact. Then you still got Mike Vrabel I think I'm saying it right. And the Titans, they're still good. Mike Vrabel's a good coach. He'll have a good defense down there, and it's always a tough game. So in the next coming years, I expect that AFC South to be a pretty competitive division moving forward. Another big thing here, we'll go right